Good morning.
Good morning.
First, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit and share your experiences on what it's like to be a father. With the release of my freshman book titled The Absent Teacher, Lessons I Learned from My Father, in a couple weeks, I wanted to capture the real-life journey of fatherhood. So let's begin. Please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
My name is Joe Alsobrook. I don't know if you can tell, I'm from Oklahoma originally. Moved here in Florida about maybe 14 years ago. And right now I'm a business consultant and I'm working on growing that business and developing it.
Great. Good luck with that. I'm sure you'll do extremely well. What would you say you're most proud of?
I think out of everything, I'm most proud of the opportunity that Melinda, my better half, gave me to be a parent.
Okay. How many kids do you have?
We have two.
Two. Okay. Perfect. What are the ages?
11 and 12.
Oh, so they're key stages in life.
Yeah. They're at those fun areas where they're starting to become their own little people.
That's probably cool to see. The Absent Teacher, Joel, touches on 5 lessons learned from my father. Not because he embodied them, but because he did not. These lessons are integrity, responsibility, acceptance, community, and forgiveness. Let's start with the first one, integrity. What does that mean to you as a father?
Well, integrity to me means not only following through with the things that I'm going to say, but being true in those actions that I take and the examples that I set for Talon and Melanie.
Okay. Now let's look at the second one, responsibility. What does that mean to you as a father?
Responsibility, I think, is a key fundamental foundation that I can teach them as they start to develop and as they start to go through their adolescence. Responsibility can be something as small as taking out the trash, something as major as understanding the impact that they're having on the classmates and people around them and getting their things done efficiently and on time.
Perfect. Couldn't be a wrong answer or right answer. Now looking at acceptance. How are you teaching the 2 kids this important philosophy?
I think that, first of all, the partnership of Melinda and myself, but the key to doing and teaching them the acceptance is just to, be present daily in their lives, to talk to them about things bigger than how was your day, and really truly get to the core of why we're here, what we're here to do, and to really make sure that we bring those out even in the young minds, but trying to bring it into ways that they will be able to understand.
I just want to go one step further on acceptance. What I think a lot of people do not know, is not aware of, that these 2 kids that you speak of are not your biological children, but yet still you treat them as though they were yours and you were there from day one cutting the umbilical cord.
They're my kids. And that's not something that I take lightly as far as the role, of being a father in their life and being the figure in their life. I mean, that's why when you ask that first question, something I'm most proud of. I mean, I think that it's a unique gift that I was given, because it wasn't through biology, but it was through actual real choice, and that choosing to step into that role is an understanding that I'm taking place of something that wasn't there, and I'm becoming that figure for them daily. I want to instill kind of what I got from my parents, because I did, have my biological parents, but I think one of the key foundations when I was, growing up is my background with my parents, because we were a foster home from the time I was 10 to the time I was 18. And, in that 8-year span, we had over 50 different kids from different backgrounds, in our home. Not all at once, obviously, but, through those years. And seeing the roles that my parents played, not only in my life, and both my brothers are adopted, but in the lives of those children for the moment that we had them, from the moment they were in our care and in our home, and bringing them, that family life and that family environment that they didn't have. With Talon and Melanie, they didn't come from necessarily a broken background, but I wanted to be that same figure in that same role that I had in my life daily.
That is truly remarkable, and I definitely commend you on that. We have all heard you're only as strong as your weakest link. I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yeah.
With that being said, how important is your community to you, your support group?
I think your community and your support group is everything. But I'm going to take it a little bit different than just your community and your support group, because I think that the weakest link isn't someone else. I think the weakest link is us. I think that we get in our own way through resistance. I think we get in our own way through emotional barriers. I think that, we provide that area of vulnerability to be the weakest link for those around us. And I think that we have to turn that inside. And instead of looking for the weakest link in our circle, making sure that we're the hardened link, right? That we're that reinforced link. And I think that we'll attract that through our interactions daily.
Perfect. Last, forgiveness is something we all struggle with sometimes when we've been wronged. With that being said, what would you say to your kids about forgiving someone who has hurt them, even if it's you?
You're only going to go as far in life as your endurance. And your endurance is weakened by a lot of environmental factors, right? A lot of things outside weaken our endurance. The last thing you want to do is go along picking up every single bag, rock, and obstacle and carrying it with you along the way. You have to let go. You have to let go of things, and you're not going to. You're going to hold on to it because that's what we're programmed to do. That's in our DNA somewhat, right? But I think the longer we carry it, at some point we have to realize the lesson. Something I always say, and I try to say to them, and now after some of these questions, I think I'm going to say it a little bit more, but we have to learn to extract the lesson from the blessing and the blessing from the lesson. And that lesson oftentimes is lost. That lesson oftentimes is just what you said. It could be me that lets them down, and I'm sure I will at some point. And that's hard to understand and just hold right there. But the longer we take to hold on to it and not extract that blessing from it, the more we're hindering our progression of where we're going to go. So in order to get where you're going to want to get in life, you're going to have to let go of that weight, and you can only do that by extracting that blessing from it. And I think that's really it.
Well said. All right, so again, the title of my book is The Absent Teacher. And when I said absent teachers, because my dad left when I was 11 months. So I never grew up or lived in the same household with my dad. I know he's now passed on, and hopefully he's in heaven looking down, smiling on what I'm trying to accomplish. Now I know your dad also passed on a couple years back. So here's my question to you. If, unfortunately, you were to pass today and your kids don't get a chance to speak to you, and the only message you could give them is through this video, what is the last words of wisdom, knowledge, expression? What is the last thing you would like to say to your two kids if this is the last video, the last time they'll see you or hear your voice?
I love you. The greatness that each of you have inside of you is it's really bigger than anything you can imagine in life. And my only wish is that you could see yourselves from my eyes. And I think that I think that that's really it. I want you to learn the lesson of seeing yourselves for who you are, but not what other people project on you. And I think that's what holds us back in life, is that we become what other people project on us. We become jaded, and we become clouded with what we want other people to see versus what we really and truly are. And I want you to be exactly who you are, unapologetically. And I love you.